Hello everyone, it is Rob the Replicator here. I'm doing a new show called What the Hell is Manga and Why Do I Care? I see a lot of comic book readers interested in venturing out to the realm of manga. Uh, Doing so and then finding it weird and unenjoyable. I think it's a massive culture shock if you're not used to it, and I think a lot of people go about it the wrong way. So I'd like to recommend the way that I got into it, which is when I was a kid, and an adult, which was through anime. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend some anime, and maybe you'll venture out into the manga world from there. So it's going to be based on a few criteria. So basically, how much I think a new person is going to enjoy this, and how much a seasoned anime lover is going to enjoy it as well. So what we have on the screen here is Kengen Asura. It's a show on Netflix, so that is a positive or negative, depending on your feelings about Netflix. But for its accessibility-wise, it's very easy. Obviously, if you have Netflix, you can go watch this. Another positive is that it's subbed and dubbed. So what that means is there's subtitles, and it's also dubbed, so they actually speak in English. So that's two really strong points there, I think, for a new person. The art and animation is really good. One negative is it's very stylized. So if you're a comic book reader, or an animated DC or Marvel viewer, you may find it a little bit off-putting. I don't. I think it's really cool, but each to their own. Uh, another positive is that it's straight into the action right in the first episode. So you're not waiting around for a story that goes on and on before it starts kicking off. You're straight into it. I think that's a really good point. There is lots of fighting and lots of different fighting styles, which I think is really cool. They've made it really fresh and interesting, just hand-to-hand combat. Like there's boxers, there's kickboxers, there's jiu-jitsu guys, there's wrestling guys, and so on and so forth. It's very similar to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat in like the power level sense. Like there's no magic, there's no superheroes, but they're definitely pushing the levels of what is believable by using these fighting styles. So think of like stuff like what Ryu can do and Guile with like their special moves and that kind of stuff. It's definitely in that realm, although it's a little bit different. It's set in a modern, non-fantasy, non-magic, non-superhero universe, which I just touched on, which I think is good for a new person as well, because again, it's not too much of a stretch for them to believe it. Another really important point, like it's buff dudes and it's hot chicks, the stuff that we loved growing up as kids, teenagers, and right now as adults. So I think that's really cool. And another point is it's really easy. And what I mean by that, like it's just easy to get into. Like you don't have to put your thinking cap on and try and figure out what the hell is going on. There's not all these crazy demons or supernatural themes or magic or any of that kind of stuff. It's essentially just a tournament of fighters. And let me just touch on the storyline, because it is quite simple, and I think that's one of its strengths for a new person as well. It's essentially all these corporations, instead of doing their business, at the boardroom, they use fighters, and they use their fighters as like a representative of their company to settle their disputes. And what we're looking at here is a fighting tournament where all the corporations put their fighters up against each other. So I mean, I think that's cool. It's really simple. You'll see lots of cheesiness in it, like you'll have a certain burger corporation and you know the person looks like a certain person. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, and so I mean that's pretty much it for the positives. I think there's quite a lot. The negatives are, you know, the art is, like I said, it's a little stylized. I don't know if that's going to turn new people off, and you know it is fairly cheesy. You know, in points that might be a stretch for some people as well. Okay, so what would I rate it? For a new person, I'll probably rate it about a 7. Okay, so let me just explain that a little bit. I don't think that it's going to be something that you think is the best thing that's ever created, you know, in terms of any sort of animation. But it's decent. It's easy to get into. It's simple. It's not going to turn you off, you know, anime or manga. It may not be for you, but I can't see you going, I hate this. This is stupid. I mean, maybe you will, but I think at worst you'd be like, no, this is just not for me, right? So I think a 7 is a pretty good result. Another point is that there isn't heaps of it either. There's only 2 seasons, and that goes on to my next category, which is how much a seasoned anime lover would like it, and I'd probably rate it around a 7 again for that. There isn't heaps of it to get into, so it's pretty simple. And it's not as appealing as, you know, some of the bigger franchises like Naruto or you know, One Punch Man or Attack on Titan. It's not on that level for me so far. But you know, like I said, only 2 seasons. But yeah, this is Kengen Ashura. I would definitely give this a consideration. It may not be up your alley, but you know, if you're looking to try something different, then maybe give this a go. Anyway, that is it for the video. Let me know what you think about the ratings on this one. 7 sound pretty generous, and they're both the same rating for both categories. So be interesting to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Goodbye.